February 27th, 2023 Personnel Meeting Committee. Hold on, I got this in front of me. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and will be able to be found on the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel after the meeting. The following information is also provided for members of the public that would like to review the meeting remotely. To review remotely from a computer, please use the link below to join the public meeting webinar. Or from a telephone, dial the toll-free number 888-475-4499 and enter a meeting ID of 792-737-0353. If you have not registered with Zoom, you will be able to ask for your nickname and an email address. No participant ID is needed. Just press equal when asked. The agenda lists all topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting law. So at this time, I call the meeting to order. And do we have any public comment?
This is Wendy. I wondered if we would want to try and reorg now. I think it's tough without a chair, or I don't know, does that just mean that you slide into that as vice chair? You're sort of assuming those responsibilities. I don't know protocol per se, but just something I wanted to throw out there.
Yes, so the charter says that we have to do it after June 30th. So right now, Joanna will just assume the duties of chair until then. Then we can reorganize at that point and hopefully have a new member.
Okay, why can't I find my Zoom?
You're what?
I can't find my Zoom meeting. Hold on. Oh, there you are. I had the agenda up to read the opening and then I couldn't find you guys.
Oh.
Okay, so was that public comment I just did, or board?
You did public and no one spoke, and then you did the board and Wendy spoke.
Okay. So we can go right into the next topic on the agenda. Let me just pull that up.
The minutes. The minutes should be next, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I need a motion for the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the February 6, 2023 minutes as presented.
I wasn't there, so Sue or Donna, would you be able to second?
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes as submitted? All in favor by a roll call vote? Sue,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
and Donna?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, and what's next?
With hopes that Mary Beth is going to be able to join us, she may not be able to. She's presenting at a panel in Orlando. So to give her a little bit more time maybe to be able to join us, can we start with the new business?
Sure.
So to go out of order.
Absolutely.
So that would be the new hire, the pay rate for the administrative assistant IT.
Joanna, do you want me to make a motion to take the agenda out of order?
Yes, please.
I make a motion to move our new business up before our ongoing business.
And
I
do we have a-
second.
Thank you, Sue. All in favor, Sue,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
Donna?
Aye.
Perfect. Now, I've always, as chair, I make a motion second, then we do discussion. Do you want to do discussion first and then go into the motion? What would be the
That's
preview of the board?
Oh, for this job description, is that what you're,
Yes,
Or
I
for
was
the
always
job, is that
taught
what
you
you- oh,
can't
okay.
discuss it till there's a motion to discuss the item.
We
But I'll
haven't
go-
used that in the past, so
Right.
we've just discussed it and then voted on it.
Okay, so we will stay that way. So let's discuss, does anybody have any questions on the candidate and that they're recommending? Julie, could you repeat the step and salary, the grade and step?
Yes. So it is a grade. All right, got it. It is a grade 8, step 6, 24 an hour.
And does anybody have discussion on that?
So I have a question. Does that impact anybody else in that group?
So this specific position is just a one person. There's no other administrative assistant IT, if that's what you're asking.
Well, a similar role. Does it disrupt anything that's going on in that group?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm okay with it.
Okay, Wendy?
Out of curiosity, were there a lot of applicants for this role?
No, we've been interviewing since September, I think we posted it. So Heather and I, we did interview at least a handful of them, and this one was by far the most qualified. Yes.
Thanks.
And Donna, do you have anything?
no? Well, actually, I take that back. Julie, the
Yeah.
job description for this role, I assume we have a draft now. But do you know if it's vastly different from the original job description that was done when the position was created?
I do not know that. It shouldn't be. It should be. It was a very new position that was when we did this. I don't think the job description would have changed since we created it. So
Okay.
that's something, yeah, I'll have to double check that, but it shouldn't be.
I don't have any questions, so if that's it for discussion,
I would make a motion that we approve the recommendation of the HR director and hire this person at grade 8, step 6.
thanks, Sue.
I'll second.
Thank
Second,
you, Wendy. All right, any other discussion? All right, all in favor, Sue,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
and Donna.
aye.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That passes unanimously.
And Joanna, you have to vote yourself, correct?
No, the chair shouldn't vote. They break the ties. If we're ever having
Okay.
a tie, the chair breaks the tie. So usually the chair does not vote unless there's a tie needed
Okay.
for it to vote.
Okay, good
All
to
right,
know.
thank you.
Thank you. All right, so our next agenda item, going back to the original order. How do you want to start? Do you just want to start with the first document sent? How do we want to?
I have a question. If I look back at the minutes from the last meeting, today's date was supposed to be the final of these job descriptions. And I'm pretty sure we are not there yet. Are we still okay calendar wise?
that's directed to me. All I can agree that, no, we're not there. That, they came a couple days later than they were supposed to. I was supposed to have them on the 15th. They were sent on a Friday, a day which town hall is closed, and then it was a Monday holiday. So by the time I was able to disperse them, we lost some time. We lost about 5 days right there.
Yeah, that was not a criticism at all, Julie, and I'm sorry if it came across that way. I'm more just concerned about that these really are still in draft form.
Right.
And based
Right.
off of the feedback that I provided to you today, I'm thinking that we need at least one more go round to finalize, I think, before we'll be ready to say, yeah, these are good to go.
Agree. So,
Okay.
yeah, so at this point, I have asked that any of the job descriptions that needed edits from an employee or department head were to have them in by this meeting. I think I've uploaded everything that I've received. Hopefully everybody else is just okay with it. But I think, you had a lot of good feedback, which I very much appreciate that. Yeah, so I mean, this is one step, and then, the next step is the impact. And yeah, we're in crunch time.
Okay.
That's helpful.
I think, and that's the part where I wasn't clear. I know I was going back and forth with you a bit Thursday and today, just because we've got the same, I haven't seen any change in grade for any position, which is fine. But the grid obviously has, it's not there because, as I had said in my email earlier today, steps 2 through 12 are all decrease in pay. So we'd have the vast majority of our SAP employees taking a pay cut, which was not the intent of this at all. So I guess my next question is, are we 100% going to have this for next Monday's meeting? Because we really have to.
I know. Trust me, I'm feeling it. Yeah, I would like to give a confident yes to that. And I need to commit. I'm going to have to dedicate a lot of time to do this and to do it right.
Well, and so will we. I mean, honestly, if we want to be prepared, Wendy, how did you figure out the people would be getting a decrease in pay? Was it just you had the grid that we already have and you're comparing it to the job descriptions? Is that what you did?
So I went back and whatever document I found, all of the changes from 2021, or the update that showed every SAP position and the grade it was at. Then I looked at everything that had been put in Dropbox. I looked at what the grade was. I said, okay, well, beach director, for example, was a 7, is still a 7. I mean, a small edit in job description, I wasn't as concerned with that, because in the end, I feel like the SAP employees are, I mean, a big part of our charge here was to look at our salary grid to make things as equitable as possible, not only between union positions and SAP, but also to make us, competitive enough in the market,
Right.
so that we have people applying. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I'm newer into this role and maybe there's something else I'm missing, but those were 2 key things that I saw. So that's the eyes I was going into looking at all this with. So I looked at, yes, the job description, any edits, but where was it? And then looking at the grid and saying, okay, I had them side by side, FY23 pay and the proposed new grid. So
Yeah, that was a good way to do it.
and it's one thing if I saw, oh, lots of these roles, maybe they were a step 7, grade 7 before, but they're a grade 8 now. I wouldn't necessarily have been as concerned, but I think that was the part where I'm saying, okay, where are these numbers? Because we can't have, the goal is not to have the vast majority of our employees, many of whom been with us a long time, take a pay cut.
It would never
Right.
happen. No.
Right.
No.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So, but
That
it was
won't be the end result.
look at edits, and there wasn't anything earth shattering in the edits. Good to note some additions or small changes, but there wasn't anything. To me, it was really, where are we at, with grade and pay and any changes? Because honestly, if there aren't any, why did we hire? I mean, I know why we hired out, but I mean, that's a portion. We wanted to have someone independent look at this, because as a committee, we felt like doing all the research and putting it together wasn't something we could do. So now, I mean, we're past deadline.
Yeah, and what I was looking at, I wasn't focused on the grid because it wasn't one of the documents, but where I was going with this was to look at the job descriptions themselves for, consistency within and across job descriptions. And there were a lot of inconsistencies that, and it's honestly, it's just grammatical and things like that, but I believe it's important for us as a town to have that consistency. Otherwise, it makes us look dull, in my opinion, if our job descriptions are all over the place.
I would say, Julian, I will work with the consultant this week to make sure we kind of get back on track. And the committee, if as long as you're willing to dedicate the time to meet as much as needed to meet the deadline, so we can all get it moving forward.
I think the dilemma
I'm
will
flying
be,
blind here. I'm flying blind here. Is that Heather that was just
Yes,
talking?
yes. I'm sorry. This is Heather.
Okay. So no, I'm on the phone only. I don't have any video where I am. So thank you. Somebody was saying something about me.
this is Sue. I think that I'm not as concerned. I appreciate that some of the job descriptions need to be smoothed out, but I am more concerned about the grid. And I understand from all the material that she tried to clean it up so that there were the right kind of spread between each level and each step. But it certainly, I agree with Wendy, there's no way that we can submit a change in the grid that would ultimately lower that number of people in there, because many of our employees are sitting at the top of the range, and that would clearly impact them. I understand what she was trying to do, but I think the grid needs some work.
Yeah, that grid that she provided is, I think, was more of an example of like how she wanted to go, like a recommended style grid, but that's not the final. And I think that's why it's not making sense. It's not matching up.
And honestly, that's really disheartening, because we got a commitment that we were going to get this given to us. And now we're 2 weeks past the deadline, and we're really far away.
Okay. So how are we moving forward for today? Are we going to go and start with each one? And my question was, and I'm sorry I missed the last meeting and I've not had time to watch it, but have the employees all seen these job descriptions that are currently in them? Do they agree with them? Did they make changes to them?
They've all seen them, the revisions.
Okay,
Some made changes, some were okay with it. And they were working through their department head to make the changes. So therefore the department head would be on the same page.
okay.
So we're,
And do you have everything you need to move forward from all the department heads, or are you still waiting for some information from some department heads that maybe Heather can help you with, if that's part of what's not getting us to the end line.
I think, I probably have a good bulk, if not all. I have received responses from people, and those have been uploaded on the Dropbox, so you guys can see the initial revisions from Mary Beth, and then the revisions from the employees and or department head. If you wanted to do a little comparison, I asked the employees and department heads to put the track changes on, so that way you could see what they were changing from Mary Beth's job description, so it'd be very clear. So I think, we're in, if not done with collecting them, very close to collecting all of them that had changes. So from there, I think, that we should be able to wrap that up. I would hope Monday is our next meeting. And like Heather said, we'll plan on working together and hopefully be able to provide the impact of the grid on Monday as well.
Okay. So, go ahead, Wendy.
As a side note, and this is not, there's nothing I can do about it at this point. I am not going to be at Monday's meeting. Early in July, I planned a trip with a group, and this was obviously not out there at this point. I don't even think we had nailed down the first Monday type of thing. So I will
You
not
don't
be.
need to explain to us, you're not going to be here next Monday.
I feel badly. The timing
I
is now
know.
horrific. I was hoping we'd have a little bit more tonight so that next Monday was a little more review and a little less meaty, but nothing I can do.
How would you feel about a different day?
Yeah, are you gone the week?
Thursday night would be my only possibility, and I'm at Orchard Hills, so I wouldn't be available till 7.
I would happily do Thursday at 7 to accommodate, so you could participate, because we've come this far. If that works for everybody else, I don't want to speak for Sue, Donna. But we're already down Eric. I would like to have at least more than a quorum making these big decisions. So,
Agreed. And if Sue and Donna were amenable to that, that would be great.
Is that the 9th?
Yes.
I can do Thursday, the 9th.
at 7 PM, Sue?
Yep.
Perfect. Donna? I know she's on vacation. I don't know how, she's calling in from vacation, God love her. Donna, you with us?
She's muted. Or did
Maybe
she
she'll
leave?
pop back in. But all right, well, we're waiting for Donna to pop back in. So in reviewing the job descriptions, did any of you find ones you want to point out this evening, talk about this evening? And I'm sorry to go, are these public or confidential documents? Like my husband asked to see them and I said, I don't know if I can show them. So I just want to clarify if they are reviewable by others or should they stay private?
There's nothing private about them, but they're not final draft
Right.
form, so they're in draft form.
Okay, which is what I said, but I didn't share them with him too. I said I need to ask the group.
Well, and because the employees have been able to see them, we don't know where else they might have gone. So I think that that's reasonable that your husband could see them.
I'm just checking. I don't want to do something wrong.
Employee, correct. I've only
Can you-
seen.
Can you
Yes.
guys hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes.
can, Donna. We missed you.
I'm sorry. My stupid phone wouldn't let me unmute. I'm so sorry, but where I will be next Thursday will have no cell service and no internet.
Okay. And will Monday you have internet and service?
I think so. That's the best I can tell you because I'm not there.
Okay,
Once I get there, I'll know better, but
Right.
I know for sure because John has a board meeting that night and he already checked and there's nothing.
Okay. Because if you can't, which I'm not putting pressure on you, Donna, at all, you have a right to vacation, we just won't have a quorum.
Right, I
So,
know.
no, and that's not you, Donna, that's just so we got to figure out Plan B if that is the case. So I think we're better off scheduling a night that at least 3 people know they can be there. I'm wide open, I think, except for 7th, the Tuesday, the 7th. Would they have it by this Thursday? That would be Julie.
Like 2 days? No.
No, okay, okay.
If you were gonna wait till the 9th, I don't see why it would hurt until wait to the 13th if 4 people could be there.
My fear is then we're down to, because we've got to hand it to FinCom that Thursday. Yes?
The public hearing is March 30th for finance.
Oh, I don't know why anybody
Then
else.
the 20th is when the warrant closes for warrant articles, but you can submit your warrant articles at any time. You don't need to
Oh.
finalize your votes.
Yeah, Wendy, I'm
Because
with you. I thought we had to get all this done by like the 15th of March. I don't know why I had that in my head.
Correct. I thought with the 20th as our deadline, it was really by then, which
I think that was the goal, to give it enough time before the public hearing, but just to give you some leeway if there's any, but I mean, not that that's a whole lot of leeway.
Unless we met multiple times that week. Could
Well,
do at least twice that week if need be.
13th, the
If
week
we
of the
did the 13th, then we could also do the 16th, right? Because you can do Thursdays.
at 7. Yeah.
7. All right, yeah.
Does that give enough
Well, I mean,
changes is my only concern. If we're meeting on Monday night, is those 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, enough time for any review, tweaks, or changes that would need to have happen, especially if we're sort of volleying anything back toward Mary Beth?
so I think the feedback like I've been getting is helpful, so I can send that back to Mary Beth and she can work on that, send them, and as I receive them, I can continue to upload them, let you know that they're there, and you guys can review them beforehand. So then basically when we meet, it's just a report of I'm good, or I still have a concern with this. It should be minor at that point in terms of the job descriptions. I think, first time seeing the impact of the comp plan we'll
Yes.
probably want to have another discussion after that. So I would plan on, maybe 2 to 3 meetings that week just to make sure that we have it done in time. Or, we can keep it as, I personally would prefer not to have a meeting Monday because I have something that I could do with my son for school, but I would prefer to meet once next week, introduce it, and whoever's not there well, Donna won't be able to access it, but I could share, what we were going to
On the
discuss.
6th I could.
Yeah,
The 6th I could, but I can't,
the 9th.
I can't on the 9th.
So it sounds like keeping the meeting on the 6th. So that way you have access to that and then Wendy can review it kind of on her own, rewatch the meeting and maybe like do a self-review. Does that work, Wendy?
Yes.
It's just an idea. It's a thought.
Yeah, I feel I think that's a better option than trying to jam and cram, 5 meetings into 10 days. Cause I just, yeah, I better option to have a little bit more time in each.
Right,
Will
so
we
yeah,
have the grid by then?
by Monday?
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Okay.
It would seem to me the grid is the more important piece that both FinCom would be interested in and the selectmen will be interested in. I mean, the job descriptions are important, but that's not where the focus is going to be.
I mean, they're the driving factor of the comp plan, but at this point, I
Correct.
think the understanding of where they are to be plotted has already been developed.
Correct.
So now it's just running numbers and making sure everything makes sense.
So do we end up leaving the 6th as a meeting?
I think so.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to confirm. So we are meeting Monday, the 6th. Is that correct?
I can do that, yep. Will we have a forum, Joanna?
I believe
If
so
Wendy
far
can't attend?
it's you, me, and we don't know if Donna can attend. She won't know till she's physically there for Wi-Fi. So if
No,
not,
Yeah, as
on
long
Monday.
as there's,
On Monday, the 6th, she can.
yeah,
Wendy
yeah, I
can't.
should be able to Monday the 6th should be okay.
okay,
Unless there's no cell service, but that, I could do what I'm doing today. I think that'll work. Thursday is gonna be the big problem for me.
But Wendy, you can't attend, correct? Right, okay.
Okay.
okay. So are we going to discuss any of the job descriptions sent in today? Does anybody want to talk? Did anything jump out at anybody? We don't have to go line for each page. But were there things that jumped out at anybody on any specific one they'd like to speak to this evening?
I have a general question.
Sure.
I noticed in a number of the job descriptions, and maybe this is just the way that it runs, and it just surprised me that there are jobs where individuals are responsible for the payroll of their department, which means that they're doing their own payroll. Is that right? No check and balance?
Well, the department head would sign off on their timesheet and the pay
Oh, okay.
voucher.
And-
I don't think there's anybody that submits without another signature.
I took it,
But
that's what I
even if
took
they
it to mean.
sign-
They submitted it.
Or prepared it.
One of my clerks in my department does the payroll for the whole department. She does my payroll. And then I sign off on all the payroll before it goes to the auditor.
Yeah, I think it's
Gotcha.
not so
So
much
there
of,
is a check and balance.
Yes. And then the auditor will come back and say, hey, nay, and they're the third check.
they're more preparing it, Donna, than
Yeah, they're just doing the.
doing it. They're not
administrative.
submitting it.
Gotcha. Okay.
For us, it's
Yeah,
munis.
thank you.
Basically-
That's helpful, because I was like, what?
Yeah, they're physically just going into, we use Munis and putting it into Munis. They print it out and then there's a stamp. Then it comes to me, I sign it and date it, verify everything. I have to do an attendance weekly attendance sheet that says this one took vacation day, whatever happened. And then that all goes to the auditor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What else?
I actually think they were very well done when you think of how much she had to put together and what the department people did, I think they did a very nice job.
Now, I have a question because this happened when we redid the SAP. So is this analysis for everyone in municipal or just the SAP employees?
This is just for the salary admin.
Okay, so if we create the salary grid, hypothetical, and it comes back higher than the IT clerk is making more money than someone that's in the clerk union, would then the grid not be acceptable because another union member is not in that same grid that's doing the same job?
That would be a collective bargaining issue, not related to the personnel committee.
Okay, well, because that's what happened with the holiday, right? It got changed because it wasn't in the other town meeting. So I just want to make sure at town meeting, all the work we did here doesn't get changed because the other groups don't have that.
That would be separate.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other questions? Any other job descriptions we want to talk about? Donna, you're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. While we're
I
on
gave
this,
Julie a bunch of feedback that she's gonna
Oh,
pass
good.
on to Mary Beth.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so I would request from the committee, if we're meeting Monday, and if you want to see revisions with hopes that Mary Beth has time to make the revisions based on your recommendations and the changes from the department head and employees too. If you can submit any feedback that you see on the job descriptions that you need addressed or inconsistencies, if you can let me know by Thursday. So then that way, hopefully she can crank something out over the weekend.
anything else on job descriptions before I go to the public and ask them about job descriptions before we move on?
I have a question not about the job description, Joanna, but I just want to make sure, it would be good if she has a renewed chart about the grades and the steps. I'd like to see it before we have our meeting Monday, if she can do that to us. That'd be great.
We have time to
Because it
absorb
takes
it.
a while to kind of get used to looking at the form.
And process it and,
Right, it takes a little bit, because I did a little graph myself about the changes from level to level, and I'm not sure I got what she was trying to do, but it'd be nice to have it ahead of time if you could.
I'm sure as soon as Julie gets it, she's going to put it in that Dropbox. All right, from the public, I see Nancy Barb. Do you have any questions on the job description section? I don't know if they're trying to mute or. Okay. Oh, Nancy does. Go ahead, Nancy.
No, I just was gonna say I don't have any comments.
Thank you, Nancy. All right, Barb, you good? Okay. Was there anything else on the agenda? I keep trying to go to the agenda and it tells me I lose my voice thing. I have too many things. open.
That was it.
No,
I would ascertain a motion. Our next meeting is going to be Monday, March 6th at 6 p.m. And I would accept a motion to adjourn.
It's Wendy. I'll make a motion to adjourn 6:38 PM.
I'm sorry, before we do that, any public comment on anything? Because I just said job descriptions. So do we have any public comment on anything? Seeing none. Sue,
I,
motioning to adjourn. Thank you. Wendy? Yeah, you did. And
I'll second it, but I'll second it.
I had already seconded it.
Oh, I didn't hear you, Donna. Okay, thanks.
that's why I went on with the vote, but. And Donna, motion to adjourn. Are you a yes?
I'm a yes.
All right, well, you all have, I'm a yes as well. You all have a wonderful evening. Julie, thank you for your hard work on this. Heather, nice seeing you. Everybody have a great evening.
thank
Great
you.
night.
And if I
You
can,
too.
the
Thanks,
new
everyone.
hire form is going to be coming around through DocuSign. So if you
Okay,
can
will
satisfy
do.
that. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Night,
Have a good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.